I'm Doig-Thorne, and today I'm here with the director of Maze Runner: The Death Cure, Wes Ball. Wes, great to have you here today.
Thanks for having me.
So you've directed the entire Maze Runner trilogy. You've known the cast for 3 years. They must feel like family by now.
It's almost been 5 years now. And when you count the pre-production and everything else, yeah, it's been great. I count them as some of my closest friends. I'll have them for life. One big happy family.
That's how I like to think of it.
Yeah.
There's big Maze Runner family.
That's right.
You've directed all of the Maze Runner films. Will this be the last, or would you consider directing The Fever Code?
It's been a great ride, but this is it. This is it for me.
Okay, this is time to move on.
Beginning,
to the next
middle, and
chapter.
end. 3 is a good number, and we'll get out while we're ahead. You know.
Fair enough. The Maze Runner trilogy were actually the first feature films that you've directed. What was it that attracted you to the stories?
Probably the characters, honestly. I mean, certainly in the very first movie, I really got the whole Lord of the Flies vibe. That was just a brotherhood. I grew up that way, kind of out in the middle of nowhere, building my own little huts and my own little fantasy world. So I really connected on that level. But what kept me through was really the cast and those characters and just seeing their stories kind of progress. And I certainly wasn't the plan for me to continue the next 2 movies, but I'm so happy that I did because it was really fun to kind of, stay with it for the rest of the cast, rest of the crew even. It's been quite an adventure for all of us,
I think it's always lovely having the same director throughout the trilogy because it kind of continues the same style.
Which is kind of rare, actually. And the fact that it's my first 3 movies, it's going to be interesting to see how, I'm sure in some level as a filmmaker, there's some element of growth and growing up I did myself, so maybe in 10 years I'll be able to look back on it and see how maybe that progressed a little bit.
Well, I certainly think you've done an incredible job, so well done with the film. What was your favorite moment from filming The Death Cure?
That's a good question.
Difficult question.
It might have been, honestly, the very first day of shooting. There's, without giving away spoilers, there's a scene where we kind of go back to the first movie in a weird way with a character, Minho. And our very first day was kind of us back in the Glade. This little village environment that the kids had built themselves, and it was very weird after 4 years of going on these very different kind of, terrains and different kind of locations throughout the whole series and the universe of this thing, to find ourselves back to where we all started. That was kind of a unique experience that I wasn't quite expecting, and that was a lot of fun.
As you were saying, obviously with Minho, there were scenes where he may or may not have been taken back to the Glade. There is an insane amount of character development throughout the entire series, but in my opinion, particularly in The Death Cure. How did you find directing the actors with the premise of being back where it started and breaking into Wicked 3 years after breaking out of Wicked's maze?
Yeah, there was a cool kind of, I don't know, symmetry to it, I guess. The idea that we started the movie with them escaping the maze. The second movie was about kind of surviving the scorch and that kind of, that journey away from the maze, and then find themselves having to essentially go back, not to the same maze, but to that same place maybe where it all began. And it very much felt like a maze again. They had to infiltrate. And you're right, this time it's really about the character struggles. It's not so much about the high concept of say the first movie. It's about that kind of family unit and what they're willing to do for each other, what they're willing to kind of sacrifice, I guess, for each other. And that's kind of always been the really strongest part of these stories. We've delivered it in a big way to kind of tie up all the loose ends for all these different characters and see who survives to the end.
I think it's a great ending. I was actually lucky enough to have a quick visit to your set in South Africa.
Really?
Yeah, I did for the final scene. Yes, you may have seen me there.
I think so. Now, which day were you there? Do you remember?
I was there. It was the final scene.
So you saw that location then?
I did, yeah. It was
great.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's crazy seeing it on screen as well, because I've never had that experience before, being on set and then seeing it on the screen. It's just incredible to see what you did with it.
2 days for 5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah,
beautiful,
it was beautiful.
Beautiful set. And we planned that for like 2 years. And I started on a little sketch that I did. It was very much kind of about going back again to the first one. It was that kind of almost bookend where we wanted to feel like the Glade, but better, open. It's a true paradise where they can begin again. It's a good kind of hopeful ending, I think, to send off not just the franchise, but I think the fans.
Thank you so much for your time today. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I really hope that you've enjoyed this interview. Don't forget to check out Maze Runner: The Death Cure, which is in cinemas from January the 26th.
You can't save everyone, Thomas.
I could try. When the hell does it stop?
It stops when we find a cure.
There is no cure! Hang on!
Thomas, you can save your friends, or you can save us all.